Good morning and welcome to the Weekly Briefing. I'm Tracy Freese, Director of Communication for Research and Tech Transfer at Wichita State. These weekly briefings are held in an effort to keep the campus and the public better informed about the changes occurring at Wichita State. Following the briefing and today's featured topic, there will be a time for questions. To start, we want to let everyone know that registration for summer and fall classes starts on Monday, April 8. In addition to planning for fall courses, we also encourage every shocker to check out our diverse summer offerings. The university has recently expanded its summer classes to better meet students' needs, giving them more opportunities to stay on track and graduate in a timely manner. Summer shockers have hundreds of on-campus and online options and the flexibility of 2, 4, and 8-week sessions. Financial aid can also be applied. To find out more about summer classes, visit wichita.edu/summer. Following the results of yesterday's SGA elections, today we want to congratulate the new Student Government Association President, Katrina Miller, and Vice President, Michael J. Berth. In addition, we also want to thank all of the candidates who participated and the voters for making their voices heard. We look forward to working closely with the new SGA leadership moving forward. Last Thursday, the Kansas Board of Regents announced the appointment of Dr. Andy Tompkins as interim president of Wichita State. Tompkins, who retired as KBOR president and CEO in 2015, most recently served as Fort Hays State's interim president from December 2016 to November 2017. Tompkins, a 2001 inductee into the Kansas Teachers Hall of Fame, was a high school English teacher who became a principal and eventually district superintendent. He was honored as Kansas Superintendent of the Year in 1992 and served as Commissioner of Education for the Kansas Department of Education from 1996 to 2005 before going on to teach at the University of Kansas. Dr. Tompkins begins work on Monday. We welcome him to campus and look forward to the wealth of expertise and experience he brings. Be sure to tune into next week's briefing when Dr. Tompkins will be the featured speaker. On Wednesday, we announced the $10.4 million contract to build a new student-athlete success center and renovate parts of Charles Koch Arena was awarded to Hutton, a Wichita-based construction firm. The project is completely funded through donor contributions and has two main components. The largest is construction of the Student-Athlete Success Center, a 36,000 square foot facility devoted to the academic and athletic development of students in Wichita State sports programs. The two-level building, to be located south of Charles Koch Arena, will expand study and tutoring space. The Wichita State track and cross-country programs will also move to the new facility. Groundbreaking is expected to take place in June, with completion of the project in the summer of 2020. The Shocker men's basketball season ended Tuesday night with a strong finish and 3 wins in the National Invitational Tournament. We want to congratulate both the men's and women's teams and coaches for their hard work and dedication this season. We can't wait to see them back on the court in the fall. On Monday, the Barton School of Business continued its dean search by hosting a second business dean candidate. Larissa Jenin is Associate Dean of Faculty, Accreditation, and Undergraduate Programs in the School of Economics and Business Administration at St. Mary's College of California. 2 more candidates are scheduled to visit campus next week. The third candidate is Daniel Goebel, Dean and Professor of Marketing at the W.A. Frank College of Business at Northern Arizona University. He will be on campus next Monday, April 8, with a public forum held from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in 204 Clinton Hall. The name of the fourth candidate will be announced Friday. He or she will visit campus on Wednesday, April 10, with a public forum also held from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in 204 Clinton Hall. And look for Wichita State to be in the national headlines again on Monday with the release of the 29th Annual Airline Quality Rating. This is the longest running and most comprehensive study of the performance quality of the largest airlines in the U.S. Dr. Dean Headley, Professor Emeritus of Marketing in the W. Frank Barton School of Business, and Dr. Brent Bowen of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University use a combination of performance-based data that allows comparison of actual performance among airlines most used by the public. The full report will be available on Monday at airlinequalityrating.com. The university strives to create unmatched opportunities for applied learning and research. This includes providing the technology and lab space where collaboration between students, faculty, and industry can take place, creating products and processes that meet needs, improve lives, and contribute toward a brighter future. The National Institute for Aviation Research at Wichita State alone employs more than 250 student assistants working in various laboratories. One of them is Chelsea Sewell, who has worked at NIAR for 4 years, and she is here today as our featured speaker to talk about her experience creating a robotic 3D printed hand for a local third grader.
Excellent. Well, hello, and thank you for having me here today. I'm just going to say for now, if you want to see the full story about Chase and Lainey, please watch the video that's on wichita.edu/news. But let me give you a little bit of background on what we put together for Chase. Lainey is a mom of a young gentleman, Chase, who was born with symbrachydactyly. It's basically where, for some reason, any reason, the hand does not form properly before the child is born. And Lainey came to us, to our lab, asking about a robotic hand that she saw online. It was a hand made for people like Chase that might have the wrist and the palm area, but doesn't have the use of the fingers or the hand itself for whatever reason. She also previously worked for WSU in the NIAR, so she knew that we have a lot of resources available to us. So we went ahead, brought Chase in, and we showed him around our lab. We scanned both of his hands. We were able to reverse engineer the shape of what they had called his small hand, then fabricate a robot hand that fit just for him around the mobility that he had left. And NIAR donated the printer time and the plastics to 3D print the hand for Chase. Now, Chase is an exceptionally active and fun-loving guy. He loves baseball, he loves to hunt. The hand that we made for him is a good toy, but it wasn't going to hold up to the rigors of, say, like pulling a bowstring or even holding a baseball bat. So when we gave the hand to Chase, we asked him to try it out for a while, stress test it, even maybe break it a little bit, and see what worked, see what didn't. We wanted to know what we could do to improve the hand for him. The end goal really was to make a hand that not only that he could use, but perhaps different styles of hands that he could use for different applications. A baseball hand, a hunting hand, or even a homework hand. So thanks to Wichita State and NIAR, I have access to the scanners, the printers, the 3D design software that other people might not. So I can do all the testing, refining, and thanks to Chase, I have an excellent source of feedback of the hands being used in different activities. Also, thanks to my time in the robotics lab, I have a really good working knowledge of especially robots and how they work together and how we might be able to get a better grip or get a stronger grip for them. And now it's been about a year after getting a bit of feedback from him. We've started to plan a few changes already. I want to go ahead and move the positions of the fingers away from a bit more traditional hand shape. What if I can get a claw and I'm able to get it so that he can get it around that bowstring and pull back? I can even import the geometry of this claw-shaped hand, put it through some stress testing in CAD, and figure out maybe what strength of a bow he can pull before I even give it to him. And I'm able to use Delmia, part of the Dassault system softwares, to simulate the motion as well to make sure I get a proper grip on that bow. Let's see, I want to go ahead and take my modeling software, import a baseball bat, and make a hand that will grip that baseball bat exactly. Another thing, he said it was hot. When he put it on, he said that it made his hand sweat almost immediately. In our CAD software, I can apply stress to the plastic of that hand, and it will give me an optimized model that maybe doesn't have as much material and will have gaps and holes so that his hand can breathe. This will also remove the bulk of the weight. Now, there are also some rubbery plastics that you can print off of a 3D printer. I plan on creating a mesh that will go over the top of his hand, and it will help hold his hand in better, as well as breathe and not have to rely on hot, scratchy Velcro. Now, all these changes are great, but how does this help people in general? Chase doesn't really need the hands. He's an exceptionally confident kid. He does great on his own. He figures out how to do stuff, and he doesn't consider his little hand a limitation at all. But since he is such a confident kid, he's really great at letting us know if something works or if it doesn't. He's willing to work with us to make the hands available for the public. He wants to get a good working baseball hand so that for those kids that aren't as confident as he is, can possibly use these hands and gain the confidence they need for life. Then there's also the problem of not everyone has access to the resources that I do. Not a lot of people have access to like the scanners or be able to figure out what size that they need. But people do have a lot of access to 3D printers, either through work, through school. Home printers are getting more popular, or maker spaces like Go Create. The plastic was cheap. It was only about a few dollars. The construction can cost less than, or the construction materials like the screws, the strings only cost less than $10. So what I can do is I can get a hand that is scalable, and then all they need to do is use their inboard software for their printers and scale it up by the mathematical formula that I can come up with. And that way people that wish to make a hand, either for themselves or for a loved one, they can print out several hands, download it, scale it, get the materials they need, and just print. And really, when it comes down to it, I just want to thank Wichita State and NIAR for giving me the opportunity to have access to all of these materials. I feel that this will really help out not only Chase, but future kids on making them more confident, and also a little bit of STEM so that they can take these cool hands into school and make their lives awesome. So, thank you. Any questions? All right.
At this time, we'll take any other questions on today's topics or any other topics involving the university. If there are no questions, we'll close today with a reminder that the projects and initiatives at Wichita State are focused on our vision to be internationally recognized as the model for applied learning research, and our mission to be an essential economic, cultural, and educational driver for Kansas and the greater public good. The next briefing will be held on Thursday, April 12th at 10 a.m. in this building. Thank you.